What is up, all of you beautiful YouTube family? Welcome back to the channel. It's that time of year again. It's vacation time. In this week's video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to not only help yourself, but to help your car or truck for those hundreds, if not potentially thousands of miles. Stick around, stay tuned. Let's roll to the intro. Get in a car like this and smile, there's something wrong with you. What is up, all of you beautiful YouTube family? Welcome back to the Bad LSX Garage YouTube channel. Glad each and every one of you decided to stop back by again this week to see what's going on here at the compound, here at the garage. And like I said in the beginning, it's that time of year again. It is vacation time. Now, where we're going, well, I'm sure the hat probably has already given it away, but I'm still not going to tell you. If you want to know, you're going to have to just stick around and find out, see where we end up. But I can tell you there are going to be many, did I say many? Different spots along the way that we're going to stop at and explore. So you do want to hang on. But with any vacation, there are two major stressors. One is trying to figure out where you're going. What's your destination going to be? And the biggest one is funds.
Show me the money.
If you don't have the proper funds, that's going to dictate pretty much everything about where you're going to go, how long you're going to stay, even down to your travel. Now, for us, we're going to take ours. We're going to take our own vehicle. And that's what this video is about today. Is your vehicle roadworthy? Is it ready? And if it is, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to get it even more ready, because you don't want to be stuck out on the interstate with screaming kids, a wife that said, "I told you so," "I gotta pee, are we there yet?" and listening to a tow truck driver say, "It'll be $500 and I take cash only." Stick around and stay tuned. There's three questions that you need to ask yourself about this whole situation. One, is your car reliable? Is it going to get you from wherever you're planning on leaving from to your destination, traveling around your destination plus back to your house? Is it capable of doing that? If you're barely making it to work and back every day, then yeah, you probably want to rethink that. Number two on the list is gas. Is it cheap on gas, or is it a gas guzzler? If it's taking your whole paycheck every week to fill this car or truck up, then obviously it's going to suck your vacation fund up as well. You're not going to be able to afford anything, just gas. And third is room. Are you going to have enough room? Are you comfortably, you, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, children, one, two, none, whatever, plus all the luggage, plus anything that you may pick up along the way? Is all of that going to fit comfortably in your car or truck? There again, only you know the answer to that. But if the answer to that is yes, then let's go ahead and skip to the next part. Once you have those things figured out, it's time to start digging into the smaller stuff. Stuff that could lead to huge problems along the way. Stuff that could lead you or your family alongside the road stranded. Everyone's situation is different, but the process is still the same. Now, this particular car is new. It's still under warranty. So just a couple of days ago, I had the dealership to do everything to this car. I had them to go through everything. And they come back with a few odds and ends, which is all well and good. It's stuff that I sort of expected. But I'm going to walk you through some things just so you know what to look for, what to do, just in case. You know, it never hurts to even go back over after somebody else has redone something, because people make mistakes. We're human. So the first thing I like to check is the oil. I check to make sure that the oil is up to level, that it's clean. Obviously, I just had it changed because we know we're going on this long road trip. And if I could have waited and done it during the vacation, but it's gonna mess up my vacation. And if I would've waited to come back and do it, it's gonna be over the limit. So I just went ahead and had it changed already. It's early, but I'd rather be early than late. So once you check your oil, you're sure everything's good with that. Check your belts. Make sure everything on your belts look good. There's nothing frayed. There's no frayed spots in your belt anywhere, or belts, depending. Some have a serpentine, some have a serpentine plus the little ones. Some have both, some have one. So just depends on your make and model of car or truck. Next, check your brake fluid. Make sure that everything looks good in your brake fluid. It's up to the full level. It's where it needs to be. Next would be your coolant level. Also, there's a level on your most cars back here in the back, they have the little reservoir or front that tells your coolant level. Make sure that it is at the correct spot. Never, I repeat, never open that radiator cap while the car is hot. Let it cool down if you need to add some or whatever, but don't do it while it's hot. And basic stuff, your air filter. Check your air filter, make sure that it's clean. If it's not, blow it out. If it's in bad shape, replace it, get a new one. Same with the cabin air filter. A lot of people forget about the cabin air filter because it's forgettable. It's hid back in behind the dash, most cars, and you just don't pay attention to it. But if you've got high allergies or anything like that, changing that cabin air filter regularly will help you breathe better in those allergy times, if you will. Older cars and trucks have a few more things to check than these newer cars do. For example, this new car, you can't check the transmission fluid in, or at least I don't think you can. I think it's a sealable case and you just do what you do. Now some of them you can check, but you have to go from underneath and you have to pull a bolt out and try to stick your pinky in there and check it that way, because they don't put a dipstick on them. It is what it is. Some of the newer cars do have a dipstick for the transmission, but most of them do not. Also, another big one is your power steering pump. All these newer cars are electronic, they're computerized, so that eliminates the whole fluid reservoir deal. And if you've got an older vehicle, if you're going through a curve or a corner and it feels sluggish and it's jerky and it's whining and such, that it needs power steering fluid, so you'll add it. Same with your transmission. If it's not shifting, to either check your fluid or change it. With these newer cars and trucks though, dealership, that's the only way out of it. A lot of people forget this, and it's a very necessity in my opinion. Yes, this is de-icer. You probably don't need the de-icer, but windshield washer fluid you definitely need, especially when you're traveling down south. Bugs down there seem to be on steroids, so definitely check out your washer fluid. Make sure it's full, and always keep a little bit with you tucked in the hatch somewhere or in the truck or whatever. Next, check your windshield wipers. Make sure there's no frayed ends. Make sure none of the rubber is coming off of the wiper itself. Make sure there's no metal showing, because that could also scratch the glass. Just check them over really well. If they need replaced, replace them. We all know that oil and oil change is the life of any vehicle. Well, so is tires, in my opinion. These tires not only are the life of the car, they're the life of you. They're going to dictate whether, when you're going highway speeds, if you're going to have an accident or not, to be honest. This is the difference between being safe and not being safe. If this tire goes out at a highway speed, it can not only endanger you, but it can hurt somebody else as well. And that's something you don't want. What you want to do is just look at the tire. Make sure there's no cracks or imperfections in the tire. Make sure that the tread is where it needs to be. Now there's feeler gauges out there that you can stick in the tire and will measure the tread depth. I particularly don't have those. I just like to visually look, and I can tell by my fingers how they feel and look. Also, take the palm of your hand, run it across the top of the tire, feel it out. If it feels like it's oval shaped or more of a rolled edge, there's probably an alignment issue somewhere, and you need to get that fixed ASAP, way before you take off on any sort of road trip. Also, I know most newer cars have the dash inside with the tire readings and all that on it, but if not, get the gauge. Pull the old gauge out. Typical tires like this run anywhere from 32 to 36. It's usually a preference, but anywhere from 32 to 36. This particular tire we're running exactly 36 in, and that's where we're going to leave it. Now we're back to where we started, which is at the back of the car, which I've got all this luggage loaded, and now let's just pull this out and have a little discussion real quick. So now that we're at the back of the car or truck, whatever your preference is, you need to check that spare tire. A lot of people forget about that. A lot of people have blowouts, flats, whatever, and then all of a sudden they go to get their spare tire and it's flat. So before your trip, go back here, make sure it looks good, make sure that it's not wore out, make sure it doesn't need to be replaced, and make sure it has air in it. Some cars come with a spare tire, some come with fix-a-flat. Either way, check to make sure that the proper stuff is in the car. Make sure the jack is there. Make sure everything is there that you need in order to properly fix your tire and replace it. This is just a few little tips and tricks that I do. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it. I'm just showing you what I do for myself. Tire plugs, they're a must. I keep all the necessary tire plugs and kit with me. You can pick them up at Dollar Store, Family Dollar, any auto parts store. Comes with the tire plugs, all the necessary stuff to put the plugs in. Comes with the rubber cement, comes with all sorts of little doodabs and stuff. Under 10 bucks, it'll save you in the long run, especially if you get a nail or screw in your tire. Next is I carry a breaker bar with a 22 millimeter socket, deep well socket on here. That's what these wheel lugs are, is 22 millimeter. Now, you're asking yourself why? What do you need that for? Hey, sometimes this is just not for vacation. This is my wife's car. This is what she drives daily. If I'm not around and she gets a flat tire, those little lug wrenches that come in those are half this size. You can't get any leverage on them. At least with this, she's a small little woman. At least with this, she can break the tire loose if need be. So yes, this is for her. And next, I don't know how many piece toolkit this is, but it's saved my butt a bunch of times. It's a Craftsman little tool set. Been a great little set to keep around. I keep it in the car. I usually pull it in and out for vacation use and stuff like that, but it typically stays in the car. And who knows? I'm a type of guy who I'm not going to wait 2 or 3 hours on the interstate broke down if there's something that I can fix myself, like a water hose or a sensor or something. You never know when you may need those little bit of tools. It's small, it's compact, it's going to be out of the way. So there's that. Next is plastic, a roll of plastic. No, this isn't your grandmother's house, but let me explain here what's going on. As you can see, there's plastic all in this car. I've even got it on the side panels of the car. What's that for? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. First, the ones on the side panel are going to keep the scratches. When you're pulling your luggage in and out and things are being thrown in, chairs or whatever, that's going to save from all them scratches being on those side panels. And I covered the carpet with the plastic because, simple fact, where are we going? There's going to be lots of sand around, dirt, there's going to be all sorts of different things. Water. This way, none of it gets embedded in the carpet. It saves the carpet. We get back home, we can pull this out, throw it away, and the car still looks like new. Just a little tip and a trick. You can pick this up at any hardware store. I think I got this at Lowe's for like 15 or 20 bucks for a big roll of it. Just trying to help you guys out. I know that that's a lot of information to throw at somebody in one short video, but I feel like there's enough people on this channel. You pick up what I'm laying down, so it's all good. I've done this for the individual who may be in a rush right now. They may be getting ready to go on vacation, but they're teetering back and forth, maybe not knowing what they should do, whether they should maybe take their vehicle or if they should rent a vehicle. And this is also for the few ladies that I have on my channel that don't have a man possibly, and they need some sort of help. They're getting ready to take off on vacation, but they're worried about their car. You know you got a reliable car, but you're just a little nervous. So hopefully this will give you the confidence you need to give you that extra boost and that extra jump. That's all I got for you this week. I love each and every one of you. If you've enjoyed this video, go down there and give me a big thumbs up. I'd appreciate that greatly. Also, leave a comment. And until next week, guys, you know how we roll around here. You ready? Let's do this. Peace. I'm out.